Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us. Everybody, I see you all tuning in and chiming in here this morning. I love that. We love that. Loving to connect with you this way in our live stream. So keep the comments coming. And when Robyn completes her message, we will check in for any thoughts and questions and insights and all of that good stuff. So we have the amazing Robyn Rice Olmstead here with us this morning, and she is going to take us on a journey about learning to meet life with an open heart exactly as it is unfolding. So welcome into our space and to her message this morning. I'm loving it, all of it. Thank you, Robyn. We are grateful for you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. I don't know if I can allow you to do introductions for me anymore because somehow we're on the same wavelength. We're connected, sister. You start talking about my talk before it even happens. I'm like, oh no, she's going to do my talk. Anyway. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Brentwood. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from, wherever you're watching from, whenever you're watching from. I'm so glad you're here. So let's just get this out of the way. Let's just start with my talk title. Yes, my title, I'm loving it, is inspired by the McDonald's commercial. It is. But all of it, the rest of it, loving all of it, was inspired by a talk that my husband did about can we really love it all of ourselves, which raised questions for me about love. Can we really love it all? And what the heck is love? I mean, everybody sings about it. The Beatles sang about it, right? They said, all you need is love. And Shakespeare wrote about it and insisted that love is an ever-fixed mark. Martin Luther King preached about it, and Mother Teresa put it into action. And yet, humanity has been trying to define love for thousands of years. So love is truly the most talked about thing on the planet. As I said, we sing about it. You heard Heart Dream sing about the path is love. We write poetry about it. We quote it. We chase it. We pray for it. And we desperately want it in our life. And yet, do we understand it? I don't think we really understand. But for all the talking we do about it, no one ever really taught us how to love. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, our parents taught us what not to do. If we love our siblings, then don't bite them, don't pull their hair, or if you want a pet, you can't pull on their tail. But there's no class, right? There's no handbook. There's no certification course that our parents took so they could pass it down. But yet we learned math and we learned grammar and we learned English and we learned how to drive a car. But we didn't learn how to love, not in that deep, spiritual, embodied way. The way that Spirit truly invites us to love. So we learn to love the way that we learned to love the way that we learned to live. We learned through experience. We learned through expansion. We learned through those moments that stretch us and humble us and open us up. It's not memorized. Love is not memorized. Love is practiced, as Amy said. Love is practice. Love is awakened. Love's like a seed that if we nurture it, it grows. But we are always expanding. We're always becoming. And let's be real, becoming is rarely a tidy process. we're always discovering that our place and our passion and our path, that the discovery that we meet the parts of life that feel uncertain or uncomfortable or downright challenging, right? And these moments are not really signs that something's wrong. They're signs that something is growing, something is moving, something is happening. They're the sacred edges of truly becoming, of our own becoming. So, what does it mean to love all of it? To love all of it is not only to love only what we have been alerted to via pain or the awareness of something causing us pain. I mean, do we love things when they feel good, or do we love things when they're great? Yeah, maybe. It's certainly easier for me when things are good. But what about when things are just okay? Or what about when it's just a teeny weeny bit painful? Or maybe when it's absolutely perfect. But the challenge is not only to love, but to love the truth. And the truth is that no matter what's happening, no matter where the pain is pulling, something good is pushing through and unfolding through it. Something good is seeking to emerge. And the truth of that is that sometimes it's way beyond our human realm of understanding, at least mine, our scope of embodiment. It's not only the fact that it's not only all good, but it's incredible, awesome, amazing, and it's the all good divine plan of spirit. And that is beyond our comprehension sometimes. Sometimes we can't imagine it because we can't touch it. We can't see it in the flesh. Ernest Holmes speaks to this by saying, life is forever taking form and forever abandoning form. So just be with that for a minute. Life is forever taking form and forever abandoning form. So we are living in that sacred in-between. And how miraculous is the thought of forever taking and abandoning form? We don't really know about any of this in this human incarnation. Well, of course, and we know what we've heard. We've all read books and we've heard stories about the afterlife or someone's past life journey to becoming, or yeah, other lifetimes. But I can't really say with certainty that I know what that is or what it will look like. The old form is dissolving. The new form is ever emerging. And we are here learning to love that space in between. It's a lot. It's a big job. At least for me, it's a big ask. New thought teachings don't ask us, though, to pretend that everything is perfect. It asks us to recognize the God in everything, even the parts that we don't yet understand. So when we say, oh, it's all good, which we say a lot, can we say that and truly love it all? Loving all is not about spiritual bypass. It's really about spiritual maturity. It's about that growing. It's about that willingness to stand in the middle of the forming, the dissolving, and the emerging, and say, this too is God. This too is sacred. this too is part of my becoming. Now, I know that it's easy to love all of it when life is smooth. But what about when it feels chaotic? What about during the times we're living in where of uncertainty? When relationships shift, or when finances wobble, or when health scares us, when the next steps are unclear. Oh, well, beloveds, this is where the teaching becomes real. Because even in the face of the uncertain times, the messy, the things we don't understand, if we believe what we say, we believe. If we believe what we say, we believe, then it can only be happening for our good. So the question really becomes, can I truly embrace that? Can I believe that in every moment, something is unfolding for my good? Every moment, something is unfolding for my good. Not sometimes, not only on the weekends, not only when I've lost 10 pounds and I fit into my skinny jeans, but in every single moment. So in every moment, we're either forming something new, dissolving something old, or preparing something that's emerging. And if life is always working for our good, then every moment, even the uncomfortable ones, are part of our becoming. And this is the heart of loving it all. Not loving what's happening, but loving the truth that something good is happening through it. So, as I said, it's one thing to love it all when it's good, when it's smooth. But what about when the world is feeling chaotic, or when leadership feels disconnected from compassion or their heart, or when global situations feel heavy or frightening? And that is where the teachings again become real. Martin Luther King reminds us that love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Maya Angelou expands that truth by saying, love recognizes no barriers. And these are not just poetic ideas, poetic quotes. These are spiritual principles. They truly tell us that love is not fragile. Love is not passive. Love is not timid. Love is the most powerful, boundary-breaking, world-shaping force that we have. John Mayer sang about it. He said, we keep on waiting for the world to change, but we are really here to change the world. We're not waiting for the world to lead us. We're here to change and lead the world. We're here to lead the world through our consciousness, through our compassion, through our courageous love. Again, I'm just reminded in these moments as I speak these words that it feels like, for me, that this is no small job. And yet, can we surrender to it? So Rumi reminds us that the wound is the place where the light enters you. As we look around and we're with that quote, the wound is the place where the light enters you. We can reframe it to be that our global wounds are openings. And our collective discomfort is a doorway. And our love is catalytic, it's creative, it's transformative. So how how do we do this? How do we do this? Well, Lao Tzu said, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. But here's the deeper spiritual truth for me. Loving yourself, loving the God in you, the presence in you, the spirit expressing as you. No matter what that looks like, feels like, whatever voices you hear in when you say that, think that, loving yourself no matter what, even in the messiest hour, that is the most powerful tool of all. Because the real test of loving, all of it, is not just loving others, not just loving the world, not just loving the easy parts of life. It is loving your own becoming. It is loving your own unfolding. It is loving your own messy, magnificent, holy humanity. That's what it's all about. So sometimes when we're doing the work, when we're taking our classes, when we're reading our books, when we're having our revelations, we go back to that place where we hear the old voices in our head, or we hear the childhood wounds, or we hear our champions from the past. Many, many people arrive on that journey with us, I know. So I'm going to share this journey, this story with you, because it's one of the ways how I was shown love. So I remember when I was a kid that my mom had this, she would always say this when she was upset with me, or when she knew she was gonna be upset with me, she could see it coming. She'd look at me and she was sometimes frustrated, sometimes exhausted, sometimes like absolutely done and over it. And she'd say, I want you to know that I may not always like you, but I will always love you. Now, as a child, I'm sure that I didn't really understand the nuance, but what I did understand was the truth and the sincerity. And somehow it created a zone of certainty for me. And there was nothing I could do that would diminish her love. Nothing that could make it disappear. Nothing that could make it feel unsafe. Her love held me, even when I was messy, even when I was learning, even when I was growing through the awkward, uncertain, rebellious parts of becoming me, of becoming myself. And that love is the same love that Spirit has for us. It's the same love that we are invited to have for ourselves. The same love that we are learning to extend to life, to the forming, to the dissolving, to the emerging. Because loving all of it doesn't mean liking all of it. God knows that's true. It means trusting that love, that real love, never leaves. And that God is that real love. We are that real love. So sometimes people ask, isn't loving just the same, isn't loving just the same as taking the high road? No, I don't think so. I think it's deeper than that. Because the high road is about rising above. And loving all of it is about going into It's about going into. It's about diving in. It's about going into the heart, into the truth, into the humanity, into the presence, into the absolute oneness. It's not about the high road, it's about the whole road. WHOLE road, the whole entire road. So today in my workshop, we'll dive deeper into this, but right now I invite you into a simple but powerful practice and awareness. We all have those times that are uncomfortable and when we may feel at odds. So when something feels messy or uncertain or uncomfortable, or you feel any of those feelings coming up in your body, can we pause? Can we take a breath and ask, if this is happening for my good, how would I meet it? If this is truly happening for my good, how would I meet it? How would I breathe? How would I listen? And how would I love? Because there's always an opportunity to go deeper. And going deeper, or taking the whole road, or truly loving all of it, is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about bypassing. It's about becoming. It's not about rising above. It's about going deeper. Because life is always forming, and life is always dissolving, and life is always emerging. And each one of us, are learning to love. We're learning to celebrate and truly, truly embody the whole journey. So yeah, I'm loving it. Absolutely all of it. And today, I invite you to love it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, beloved Robyn. We love you dearly, and we love how you share with us and how your word, the way your message unfolds is just so tangible and resonates and hits our hearts. So thank you. Thank you for listening to the spirit and sharing your fullness. Because I think that's part of what we feel is when you tap in so deeply to your truth and authenticity. And that's why we love you so much. So thank you for the beautiful reminder that the spiritual journey really isn't about like waiting out there for life to become perfect, this beautiful bubble of love. Because, it gets messy, and allowing love to accompany us through every season of this becoming is really part of our practice on earth. I was just I was typing in the chat, repeating things you were sharing, and you talked about John Mayer said, we keep waiting on the world to change, but we are here to change and lead the world. And that's really it. Leading the world in loving out loud is meeting life's everything
Right.
with greater openness and compassion and courage and all the things you mentioned. How will I breathe in this moment? How will I listen? How will I love? If this thing is here for love, if we approach everything like that, everything, then that just takes on a completely different vibration. And I love that because it's so accessible. And that's what I love about what you share. You make it so accessible for everybody to say, like, I can do that. Like, that doesn't seem so grandiose where I can't do that. I get irritated at the Starbucks line thing.
Yeah.
And so you make it so attainable and practicable. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up. So how is everybody feeling and thinking? And I love that you talked about the sacred edges of truly becoming. That was just such a beautiful image. And the pain is pulling because something good is pushing through, is seeking to emerge. And, ooh, I love this. Life is forever taking form and forever abandoning form. And we live in the sacred in between. That was very profound. Thank you. When we take a moment to really digest that, it kind of just puts everything in perspective, right? And sometimes we just need those reminders, like, what are we doing here? Why are we getting upset about these little things? Why, I mean, and I don't mean to say that to negate the big things, because there are big things that happen that rock our worlds. Trust me, I know. And we can still come back to practicing loving out loud, no matter what's going on. And I can say that, because we hear from a lot of people like, well, I can't love that, leader, or I can't do that. I can't deal with that. It's like, I, from experience, can tell you, you can, even in the worst of moments. You might need a little time to process. You might need a little time to get your nervous system regulated, but you can love out loud. You can come back to all of the things that Robyn talked about today.
Well, absolutely. And we have to realize that we are more than that, than
Yes.
that leader or that circumstance that we don't like. We are more than that.
Yes.
And that's a continual journey because we have a lot of
Yeah.
tape playing in our head telling
Sure.
us otherwise,
100%. Yeah. You said love is not passive. Love is not timid. Love is the most powerful. And I think that's what sometimes we can get caught up into. It's like, well, if I'm not yelling and ranting and about this, then I'm not doing something. And yet love is the most powerful. I mean, I love the quotes you shared. Martin Luther King says, love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy to a friend. I mean, and look at this human being who said that. Like, talk about what he walked through. He knew what he was talking about. And same with Maya Angelou. I love recognizes no barriers. And it feels like we've heard some of these quotes so many times and read them so many times that we have to take a moment to say, let me let that land. Because there's such wisdom in it. And we brush over things that we've heard a lot. And that's why here I like to take those pauses to say, wait a minute, just pause, because we've heard this so many times. We've read in all the books. We talk about it on the workshops. Yet are you letting it actually land so that it can emerge, so you are embodying this, what we're talking about? It's one thing to know in your head, right? Quite a different thing.
well, so that you're living it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
otherwise we're like, oh yeah, there's this quote, as if it's
It's
as
a
a
lovely
thing.
quote.
Yeah. But can we live it? Can we make those quotes a practice? How
Yeah.
do we embody those?
Absolutely. Okay, so Heart Dream. Hi, Mirabai and Steve. They say, allowing ourselves to serve as God's loving instruments opens our hearts to the truth of who we are with non-attachment. Love is all there is. Amen. Michael J says, let's go deeper. I'm all in. I'm loving it. Well, we will do that in about 30 minutes. Pat says, I'm in the middle of all of this. Yes. Wasn't that a great um, quote of the day? Jan says, yes, practicing the sacred pause and asking if this is truly happening for my good. How am I meeting it? Right. Right. That's what we say. Do we live it? No words, beloved. I love you. We love you, Michael J. Mystic Mike, Prince of Peace. Robyn, loving you back. What happened to my feed? Luminda says, thank you for a very important topic, Robyn. This is the essence of life. Ooh, yes, Luinda. Michael J says, thank you, beloved. You always go deep. I am here. Let's go deep. Thank you for being willing to go deep. You know, there's a lot of people that want to stay away from the deep end. They're like, I'm just going to stay over here in the shallow part and, oh, you know, you guys go over there and do that. So I love this community because everybody's like, let's dive deep. Let's go to the deep end together. I love that. Jan says, let's go deeper. Yes, let's go deeper. I'm ready. See you at the workshop. I always think of First Corinthians. Love is patient, love is kind, it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Right. Yeah, there's some wisdom in that book, huh? Oh, goodness, everybody. We are so grateful to be together. It is just such a wonderful opportunity that we get to gather here and be in this space from wherever we are. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so thankful for all of you. So we get the opportunity also to continue this deep dive in this conversation and explore all these practical ways to live this, to bring this message into our life with Robyn here in just about, let's plan to get into the Zoom room in about 25 minutes. So hydrate, nourish yourselves, and come back. And remember that if today's service, if our message is here, our music here encourages your heart and inspires your soul and your journey, we invite you to support the ongoing work of Unity Inspired Living with a what do I want to say? I want to say a conscious exchange, an energetic exchange that you have a heartfelt intention behind. And I know that everybody in the community comes from this place. So thank you, because your generosity and that vibration allows us to continue creating this spiritual home. So thank you for being the light. We are grateful. So we are going to close with our prayer of protection. And I like to remind you to receive the words as a blessing spoken over you. This is how the prayer was intended by the author originally. And so I like to pray it over you as a blessing. So let it land. The prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. The mind of God guides you. The life of God flows through you. The laws of God direct you. The peace of God abides within you. The joy of God uplifts you. The strength of God renews you. The beauty of God inspires you. And wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen. That all is well just made me think of something else that Robyn said today, and I loved it. She said, you know, we say like it's all good. And I love that you brought that up, because we say it's just sort of like colloquial, like it's all good. And yet, can we say that and actually love it all? I'm gonna let us land and leave on that note. Robyn, thank you. You are a light, and we are so grateful for you. Thank you for opening and expanding our hearts so much. We're grateful, truly grateful for you. And everybody, we will see you in the Zoom room. We have a little time to hydrate, nourish, come back. I'm going to drop the link here in the chat. It's also on our website homepage, unityinspiredliving.org. You will see a picture of Mirabai and Steve and Robyn, and the link into the Zoom room. It's open for everybody. So invite, come one, come all. The more the merrier is how we feel about it. So until we meet again, shine on, bright ones. I love you dearly.